have with us today Lily Patrick, who's standing for the position of Education Officer. So just to begin, just tell us a little bit about yourself, what are you studying, and why are you standing to be the Education Officer?
Well, I'm a third year biological sciences student, so I've been at the university for a while now, and I understand what needs to change and what the university does well. And since I've been here, I've noticed just a few things that could be better, and I thought, well, why not? Why shouldn't I change that? I do a lot of volunteering, so I volunteer for Friends of Nightline and mental health awareness and support. So I really enjoy working with people. So I thought it's a job within the uni, and I may as well sort of use my skills to actually improve people's lives for the better.
Yeah. So there's been a considerable decrease in voter turnout over the past year in regards to the Union Council. There was actually a 35% decrease in voter turnout in 2014 compared to 2013. What makes you think that people will actually vote? Why should people care, and why should they be engaged in union politics?
Well, I think we need to do more to engage students. I think that a lot of it seems very political, very kind of cold, but the approach I want to do is a warm approach. I'm not a politician, I just want to make sure people realise that I'm human, and I think people like that, and people are more willing to vote for someone who they can relate to, because I've been through the same issues, which is why I want to change them.
So would you say on a whole you would represent the student body?
Oh, definitely, especially undergraduates. I mean, I'm not a postgrad, so I can't exactly represent them as well, but I think that I know enough about this union to be able to represent them adequately.
So since the start of the election, there's been a decrease of 30% from 20 to 14 in the number of candidates standing for the elections. What is your reaction to this, and why is it so? Does that indicate a lack of interest in union politics?
Definitely not. No one in the education section dropped out, so I'm still running against 4 other people. But I think a lot of people dropped out just because of the pressure, or just because of maybe they just realised they didn't want to do it anymore. I think that because so many people are still in it, so I don't think that it indicates a lack of interest. I think it is just a pressure issue, so perhaps more support's needed.
What kind of support would you suggest, perhaps?
Well, the support I've had has been amazing. I've had lots of support from the university and the union, but I don't know, I think some people maybe just didn't know what they were letting themselves in for, because it's been very high pressure.
So just a final question until we move on to the individual ones. So there are currently 14 sabbatical positions.
Yeah.
5 are being contested this month.
Do
you not think there are too many positions? And surely this conflict of interest impedes effective union policy, right?
Definitely not. You need liberation officers to represent minorities, which we have, and they are absolutely amazing. And you need full-time officers that can dedicate their entire lives whilst they're at university to actually making changes. It's so much work. We're a massive university with a big union, and I think all of those places are needed.
But the Cabinet has 22 positions. We're a students' union and we have 14 sabbatical positions. Surely something's going wrong.
Definitely not, no. You need representation for all minority groups, I believe.
Right, so moving on to your manifesto, what is your #1 priority if elected, and what screams vote for Lily?
Well, I think one of my main priorities is free languages. Languages are very employable. Every employer wants, if you learn a language, you can go all over the world. So what I propose to do is use languages as part of your degree. So you can do a language module as part of your degree, minor in that language, at no extra cost, because I know the university offers language lessons, but you have to pay for them, and we're students, we can't afford that. So that's one major selling point. Another one, I think, is personal tutor training. I think that they need to be trained in pastoral care and careers, because they just don't give us the advice that we need. And I think that happy students achieve more. So if they're there for support, then we're more likely to do well and get better jobs in the future.
So voting for Lily means free languages?
Yes.
So how would you actually plan to go about creating these, for free? At the moment, there's definitely a cost, like you said.
Yeah.
So how would you plan to...
Have you heard about majors and minors?
Yes.
Well, do it with a major and minor. So what you can do is, the most common minor that people want to do is a language. So I'm going to campaign to make sure that that actually happens. So many other universities do it, so I don't see why we can't do it at Leicester. So that's why.
So I'm just going to ask you something about your manifesto now.
Yeah.
So are you aware that lecture recordings have already been implemented by a present sabbatical officer? And if so, what would you do to improve the system?
Okay, they have been implemented before, but I think you're probably aware not all lectures are recorded. So what
It's currently an opt-in system. So how would you encourage more departments to opt in?
opt in? Well, lecture attendance only decreases by around 3% when lectures are recorded. So one of the main points that I hear from lecturers is that, oh, if we record these lectures, people won't go. But people do. Furthermore, we need to focus on distance learners because they are paying money to study at our university. Why should they miss out on the education that we all get? Also, things like revision. I mean, one of my lectures was recorded and one lecturer did it, and it was so helpful for revision, and people achieve better in exams. So I think that it speaks for itself really. People do better in exams, then why should the lecturers oppose it? So that's what I tell them.
Okay, right. Thank you very much for
No
your
problem.
time.
Thank you very much,
Thank you.
Alex.